The views and opinions expressed by the hosts and guests do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the assumptions, views, opinions, and insinuations made by the host and guests do not reflect those of the show, the management, and the network. In addition, all copyrighted material is used without permission and will be removed with notification from the rightful owners or their agent. So there.
You found Just Killing Time on Radio TFI.
Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT. 754-800-2428. On social media, search for Radio TFI USA. From a payphone, call collect.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
My fellow Americans, our long national nightmare is over.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome aboard here on this beautifully cloudy, mucky, mercury day here in the USA. It is Sunday, January 28th of 2024. And you are listening to Just Killing Time here on Radio TFI and on the Radio TFI streaming network, that of which I can find from the Great Lakes Area Command Center in Columbus, Ohio. I'm John Shannon. Over here to my left, my good friend, my partner in crime, the one and only Ed Van Ness. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, kids and kittens, from high atop the Radio TFI Executive Tower somewhere in these great United States. I am Ed, and we want to bring in from the 1963 Plant City, Florida, Strawberry Festival Queen, second runner-up. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Bill Fancher. Good morning, Bill. How are you? Okay, Bill's not talking this morning. I'll say good morning for him.
Would you talk if you had Greg Abbott as your governor?
Well, you know what? If I was on a radio show, yes, I would. It would be helpful if you let us know you aren't going to talk.
Now that's true. We can't keep your mouth shut. So okay.
No, we'll get you. We'll get you the hang of this radio thing soon enough.
Man,
I said when you introduced me. So,
anyway,
yes, I
Bill
did.
Fancher.
I know what I said. I said what I said, and I heard what I said, and you didn't say it.
I said it.
That's it.
Just a reminder, because not only do you have, Greg Hot Wheels Abbott, but you've also got
Ted Cruz. Go fuck yourself.
And there's never not a good reason to bring that one up.
Nope.
Since we're here, let's get things going with everybody's favorite segment to start to begin the Big E here.
The MAGA Market Watch.
It's the Radio TFI Market Watch, brought to you by Pete and Tony's down by the highway. Uber closed the week at $65.52, up 41 cents. Lyft closed the week at $12.60, down a nickel. A nickel. Tesla, oh boy, close the week at 183.25, down 28.94. This has been the Radio TFI Market Watch. Go to Pete and Tony's, enjoy their free mug of 60 of MAGA tears. Yes. This has been a Radio TFI Market Watch.
How
Do you
many
feel-
times have you read that copy?
I don't. That one's off the top of my head.
That one
Well, then
actually
that
sounded
explains
better than most of the ones you read off of copy.
Until the end there. So
Well, you know.
The only one that I have a script for is football. And I read off that script. And every week, Bill, you may not recall, but there was a time when during football, I would say, and it's still on the script. I say pigskin prognostication or procrastination.
Now you can't even say the wrong one.
Right. And I did that for years, and I didn't notice. But it's prognostication. And I still mess it up sometimes. But anyway.
Well, you know.
There's your Market Watch. Join us all later at Pete and Tony's down by the highway. We'll get the 3 inches.
for the game.
For the games. With us, we're going to talk about football later. An hour or two. We got.
Are we? Yes, we are. Sorry, I was distracted there for a couple minutes, guys. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, our streaming wasn't going through until I went over and fixed the situation. So we are now streaming on our social media networks of YouTube and X or Twitter or whatever letter of the alphabet he'll call it next week. And the old reliable Facebook. So just look for Just Killing Time on any one of those platforms. And by the way, I should correct myself. It's Just Killing Time, not Killing Time.
Also, you'd be easier to find us with looking for the handle at Radio TFI USA.
Exactly.
That's how we're registered on all the social media sites. And not that Bill Fancher would know because
if you go on YouTube and look for Just Killing Time, you're getting all sorts of weird crap.
Right. So you look for Radio TFI USA, all smushed together, or you can go to radiotfi.com if you're not already there. You can watch both video and listen to the audio broadcast.
At the same time.
You can download the Radio TFI app. Just go to your app store, tap in Radio TFI. You'll see the big logo.
That.
And then, you can either listen to the audio, you can watch the live video, or you can watch archive. You can, anytime you want, you can listen or watch. Radio TFI app, download it today.
You can watch the audio and listen to the video.
Yes. However it is.
Watch the audio and listen to the video.
I keep saying it, Bill. Maybe
maybe somebody will get it eventually.
Oh boy. He's here with you, right?
You can watch.
He's your friend, right?
You realize I wouldn't admit it.
No, you just picked me up on the side of the road and can't get rid of me.
Yeah, well.
That'll teach you to pick up hitchhikers.
It's like
that'll learn me, but good.
It's like a needy hooker. Can't get rid of her after you get your trick.
Anyway.
Oh, listen to you with Mr. Virgin Ears there.
No. I want to move on to the topics at hand here, the things that have got us all.
Please.
I'm psyched about the court hearings the other day.
Well, damn it, we can't let you control that excitement. So why don't you go ahead and let her on out there?
All right. So as you may or may not be aware, the defamation trial of one Donald Janus Trump. The second time he's been hauled into court by E Jean Carroll. This is actually the first case. The second case was the one back a
continuation
little while
of the first
ago. It's taken a little bitty while. So the jury came back with their verdict. Punitive damages of $65 million. Now, plus other assorted goodies, comes out to about $83.8 million. Let's call it $84 million just to be friendly amongst each other. So at the rate this is going, Melania is going to have to marry E Jean Carroll to get any of Donald's money. But
for damn sure.
So that took a minute. So now, of course, surprisingly, it's been over 24 hours, and Trump might have, to quote Susan Collins, might have learned a lesson. He hasn't really said anything. Now, a big question on everybody's mind is going to be, when does E Jean Carroll get the money? Well, that's a good question. Yeah, probably never.
I have my doubts that she will.
Right. But now that's only if he doesn't appeal it. Now, if he appeals it, now I want to read
Well, now
this.
I got information on that.
So do I. And this explains the appeal process. Okay. Now, before I get started on that, I just want to say, if he does nothing right now, then they'll just put a lien on it. And if he technically doesn't try to buy anything or anything else, look, the Manhattan DA is about to come down with a bunch of money, over $250 million. He's going to have, if he has anything at all. Anyway, this was put out there by Brian Manukian on the Twitter, and this is where I found it. It's quite interesting. Quote, "We even have the privilege of filing an appeal. Trump would have to post a bond in excess of the full amount of the verdict. Why? Trump isn't the first deadbeat defendant. Our legal system is used to these guys. If you want to appeal, you had to put up the money in cash. If he actually does that, he won't. All it means is that when his appeal is summarily rejected, E. Jean gets her cash straight out of the court's escrow account instead of having to chase Trump for it. It's another reason Trump is going to make a lot of noise about appealing, but not do anything substantive. His only real play here is to go to E. Jean's lawyers and try to negotiate a reduced settlement. This is what happens in 99% of these situations. Plaintiffs take 75 cents on the dollar to avoid the expense and delay of trying to collect. Defendant gets a 25% discount. I doubt E.G. accepts that here. E. Jean, excuse me, including because post-judgment interest is running at 10%. That's $22,739 a day on $83 million.
Damn.
Well, now she's already got that $5 million in escrow from the first case, or the first settlement, I guess, whatever. That's already been put in escrow.
Okay. Yeah, so he's going to try to play fast and loose here, but as that article said, he's not the first deadbeat defendant to come down the pike.
No.
And if you look,
he did spout off a little bit about this on Truth Social earlier. Of course, it's the same old song. This is unfair. Yeah, witch hunt. Biden this.
Right. It's all political.
Yeah, it's all political. So
yeah, it's all political because Joe Biden told you to finger this woman. So
finger in which way?
The actual way you're thinking of.
Right.
That's what actually happened. That's what actually happened. And again, a reminder, this trial that just wrapped up was only about damages, penalty. The case had already been resolved. He was found guilty of sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll. Not rape, but sexually abusing. So this was all about penalty. This was never about guilt or innocence or anything like that. He's an idiot. His spokesmodel lawyer is an idiot. And
She's dumber than homemade shit.
Oh,
Well, let me. I just want to, because we probably have at least half a dozen female listeners who would right now tell you that there is no difference between sexual assault and rape, regardless of what. Regardless of what. Hold on, both of you. Please excuse me. There is, there is sexual assault. We can't for a second try to differentiate between the two, and we just can't. Because that down the road Trump will. That's no different than when I grabbed that girl's pussy at the or wherever he grabbed the pussy at. Maybe, who knows? That might have been
assault too.
Well, yes. Yeah, that's just it. Maybe that's the one maybe that's the one he was admitting to, and we don't even know that. But it's just. I actually want to bring up a somewhat related situation here. And when I think about rapists of a feather, if you will, now I know neither one of you are huge wrestling fans, but WWE chairman Vincent McMahon has been forced to resign from the corporation. It's now known as TKO, because it covers both WWE and also the UFC. He's been forced to resign from that whole thing. And you look at that and you see all the similarities between him and Trump. I mean, oh yeah. Well, you see, in one instance, he literally had some of his lady wrestlers there. I mean, you remember the movie Coming to America, where the Prince Hakeem says, "Bark like a dog," and that girl kept barking for years. Yeah, literally. And it was, but it's the same kind of situation. That's what it is. It's that whole misogynist power thing where, he's got the money, so he thinks he can make a woman do
that. But you notice there's a difference in this. Look what happened to Vince McMahon, and look what's happening to Trump. Trump's getting away with everything. He's still doing his job and still out around, where McMahon has been punished and gone, and he may even face jail time for this. Who knows? But there again, that's the difference.
Well, here's the thing. McMahon just recently stepped down. I mean, just recently, within the last week.
But I mean, at least he stepped down. Yeah, he did what, Friday?
Yeah, I think it was Thursday or Friday. Yeah. And it's only going to be a matter of time for Trump. I think this stuff is getting to the point where it's going to get too heavy even for his fat shoulders, where he's just going to want
first domino.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that what he's done is he has done nothing but divide this country. In the meantime, that's all he's really done, if you think about it, because he has people. Now I'm living here in Red, Ohio, but yet I found that I think I've seen one yard sign that with the FJB on it. Yeah, I haven't seen any bumper stickers around here. people are keeping their damn politics under their sleeve, and that's the way it really, quite frankly, should be. I don't want to know who you're voting for. You may have other reasons. I don't need to know about them. I just don't want your stuff rubbed in my face. If you're going to vote for Trump, well, I feel sorry for you, but I don't want to know about it. No more than you want to know. As my neighbor, you don't want to know either who the hell I'm voting for. Just keep it to yourselves. It will all shake out. Hopefully, people have enough horse sense to realize that Donald Trump is nothing but a fraud. And we'll try to get this country back onto at least one wheel here.
That's the problem.
That's
saying that for how long?
Right. Apparently now, MAGA has a new meaning now. MAGA, and now stands for Make Attorneys Get Attorneys.
Exactly.
I got a whole page of them today. I got a whole
page. Attaboy. That's why you didn't work last week. I'm taking.
Yeah. That's about it too.
By the way, and then let me get one more in before we continue on. Trump was on the stand for 3 minutes, or twice as long as he was on Stormy Daniels. I will be here all week. Thank you very much. By the way, the phone lines are open.
Phone loans. Ed's giving away phone loans.
Pick up the phone. Give us a call.
I'm loaning phones now. It's my new side hustle. 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. Call collect if you're out of payphone. Soon we're going to have Bill doing those exclusively. The phone tags.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got to give him something to do.
Right. But I don't think he can do it off the top of his head, though, still. Can you, Bill?
What?
What I just did.
What'd you just do?
Those short naps are wonderful, aren't they?
those little TIAs help break up the day.
I'll tell you what. I don't know how I get by without him anymore. What else you got, John?
Well, I tell you, we got, and we were talking briefly about Wheelie Greg. Actually, we were talking about him during the pregame show, but there's a dude on Twitter whose Twitter handle is Liam Neeson, not Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson.
Nissan as the car, as in the car.
As in the car, yes.
He changes up the name every now and again to be some sort of pun on some sort of car make or model. But there are people out there who firmly believe that this is the actor Liam Neeson, including the governor of the great state of, which happens to be where not only Bill lives, but
Ted Cruz. Go fuck yourself.
We can never get enough of that. Never, ever, ever get enough of that. So,
well,
Bill, you want to explain to us what Wheelie McFadden is up to these days?
Okay, I don't know if you might have not heard this one, but okay, we'll start with the obvious stuff first. He is putting razor wire up on the border to keep everybody from coming across. It looks like World War I trench warfare. He's got not so much is the razor wire, but he's got these storage canisters that you see on boats and the back of trucks and stuff. It's got those stacked up across the border and razor wire all up and down there. So now the federal government has told him that is not a state border. That's a federal border. It's a country. So we are in charge of that. And now the latest little bit of incident is that he is saying that Texas has the right to defend itself from all invasions.
Really?
Yep, that was the direct quote. We have the right to defend ourselves from all invasions.
Really? Well,
So apparently, all the people coming across the border, it's an invasion.
yeah, I can't wait for Mexico to take it back. And nothing personal, Bill, but brush up on your
Hey, as
Espanol.
long as they stop at San Antonio, I'm all right.
There you go. Yeah, you guys got yourselves a handful down there.
Hey, don't say me. It ain't me. I got nothing to do with it.
The state you live in. Look, I got to put up with, whatever the rest of redneck New York State does. Not that it's a red state, but there's a lot of rednecks.
You need rednecks. You need to come down here, Bubba.
Oh, I didn't say we had the cream of the crop of the rednecks, but we got them nonetheless. Remember, when most people think of New York State, they think of the tiny little bit at the very bottom of the state where I am. New York State is beautiful, by the way. If you've never been upstate New York or Western New York, it's spectacular. Mountains and forest, and
the Niagara Falls area is beautiful. I mean, I know that.
Falls, slowly I turn. I step inch by inch. Susquehanna Hat Company. That's an Abbott and Costello. Same thing. But
this Liam Neeson.
Oh, I'm sorry. Topic. I forgot.
We've gone back to that.
Yeah, he has jumped on. He has jumped on the whole bandwagon. Remember when we first started, when Greg Abbott was kind of first come into our site here, Ed, and we didn't really want to jump onto the whole fact that he was wheelchair bound.
You did. You gave me crap over calling him Speed Racer, and now you're jumping on that wagon and going along with it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Because he's a freaking idiot.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, just because you're disabled doesn't preclude you from being an
asshole. No, I mean, he became disabled. He wasn't born disabled, but his mama dropped him on his head. But that's a different story.
Right. He was in a car accident or something.
Well, actually, it was a swimming accident.
Was it? Okay. Be that as
he jumped into the water, and it's typical dumbass redneck. Hey, y'all, hold my beer. Watch this.
My cousin did the same thing. He jumped off a swimming pool slide on a cruise ship that was still in port. And he surprisingly he was drunk, and and he broke his neck. Spent the rest of his life in a wheelchair. This is the cousin that just passed a couple of months ago.
Oh, okay.
And don't be that sad. But yeah, people do stupid things and wind up, in situations like that. But no, we're long past since feeling bad for him because he's disabled. He's doing stupid stuff. This has nothing to do with his ability to walk or poop on his own.
No, you can be stupid and be in a wheelchair, and you can be stupid and walking around.
That's absolutely correct, sir. There's no question about that. So
stupid is like cancer. That should eat you up quicker than hell.
You are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
That won't be the last.
So I saw a photo of the 2 kids that died about a week or so ago because of the razor wire and they drowned. Before they died. And I guess the mother or one of the parents died along with them. And just 2 adorable kids. And look, all this falderall about, they're coming to take our jobs. Which jobs are they?
Well, yeah, the ones you don't want.
Yeah, the ones you don't want. That's the jobs they're doing. Yeah. And you don't, look, you're going to get a bad apple in every bunch, see the police, but you for the most part, they're just trying to be here and do their thing and make their life and get away from whatever was tormenting them. Why wouldn't you want to stay where you were born, and where your culture is, your language is, your family, and all that? To make that decision to move, to relocate. Look, I did it, but I did it within my own country, and I didn't have language barriers, and I didn't, and all that. And I did it by driving a nice, comfortable car to move. I didn't walk 1,500 miles. I wasn't scared for my life and the life of my children every day, trudging through the desert and having people try to rip you off or ripping you off and all that. And then to get to the border of what is presumed safety or sanctuary, to coin a word. And by the way, Greg Abbott, we're going to start. Why I don't understand why we're not sending Texas a bill for all the people he's sending us. You want to send it? Look, I get it. I lived in South Florida. And, when you're the entry point for illegal immigrations, now there it was the Cubans and the Haitians. So we had a lot of them there. Not all bad people, very few of them bad people. But relatively few of them would spread out and go other places in the country. I had a discussion once with two gentlemen from New York City. This was back in the Bush years, and there was a whole thing about, and I said to them, we had this conversation, and they were going on about, oh, well, New York's feeling it. I said, are you kidding me? We got people washing up literally on our beach every day. You think our infrastructure isn't paying the price for that? Our education system, our hospitals, and all that. Yes, the some spread out, but for the most part, they stay where they land. I mean, Texas is a prime example. A lot of the folks stay near the border. Not all. I understand.
It's kind of like going into the swimming pool. You start out by the shallow end. You don't go if you've never swam before.
That's right.
You don't go to the deep end. I know the first couple times I visited Mexico, I never went any further than Tijuana.
And I still can't figure out how the Somalians decided on Minnesota.
Because the damn churches paid for them to come up there. That's exactly why.
All right. It just seems. Let's see.
I know it was totally opposite of what they were living in.
We're accustomed to this kind of climate. Let's go where there's 18,000 feet of snow every year.
Mm-hmm.
It just strikes me as funny.
Here's the deal. I totally agree with the idea of once somebody comes across this border, if they're undocumented or whatever, spread them out a little bit. Spread them out. Don't put all of the burden on the border states. I do agree with that. What I don't agree with is the fact that they're doing it to make some sort of political statement. Well, you liberal states, well, you take all these Mexicans and these here Colombians and whatnot. We don't want them down here. You take them up there. That ain't how it works.
Is John having another stroke?
I was beginning to wonder.
John, you're not as good at those accents as you think you are. Your stroke-addled brain hears it differently.
Well, hey, that's all that matters is what comes through these ears.
He was doing an Alabama hillbilly accent.
Really? I think the Alabama hillbilly would disagree.
Well, they would probably disagree, but okay.
They would.
Okay, I'll say it in plain, clear English so you two can't understand.
English?
English. Thank you. Yes, I was trying to swallow when he said that. So.
Oh, I've been studying my English.
I've been studying my English for a year now.
There you go. Like I said, I don't care. I'd even be willing to bet that Canada would be willing to partner with America for relocating some people.
Oh, I know, because you do not understand the border policy in Canada. It's not like it is in the United States. For you to cross the border and to go to Canada, you have to prove that you have a skill set that can benefit the country of Canada to be allowed into the country.
On a permanent.
On a permanent.
Yes.
But you also have to understand, if you're going up there for that as a permanent resident, as they call it, as opposed to a citizen, you get the full benefits of Canada, other than the fact that you can't vote. I mean,
what
you
are the
get
benefits of Canada? Free beer?
Well, for one thing, you can if you're into such thing, you can smoke weed.
Free beer
that's
and weed.
That's totally legal. But no, but you're
see you, Bill.
But your health care,
Canada.
Yeah,
our
your
torturous
healthcare
neighbor to the north.
Okay. What I'm saying is maybe this country could work something out with Canada,
All right,
so we
first
could
off,
get people dispersed.
A, we're not Canada. B, we don't have to work out anything with Canada. They're our little brother to the north. They're America Light. They will do what they're damn well told to do.
What they're told to do. Otherwise, we'll make sure they don't bomb the Baldwin brothers.
Well,
we'll close the gates, and they can't. By the way, do you know that 90% of Canadians live south of the Canadian railway tracks? It's 90% live within 100 miles of the U.S. border. That's what it is.
That doesn't surprise me.
Doesn't
surprise me at all.
Hey,
well, because there's not much there. There's not much there further north.
I'll be that as.
Hey, look, there's somebody out here. There's somebody in the United States that wants to go as far as liberate Canada. I'll give you one guess who that is.
I didn't realize.
Thank you for your call. You have reached the media line. For all urgent requests, please send your request by email. Merci pour votre appel. Vous avez atteint la ligne médiatique. Merci beaucoup.
Yes, hi. I couldn't understand the French part, but it's Tucker Carlson calling from the United States. And I'd be grateful if you pass a message on to the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. We are coming to liberate Canada. We are coming to liberate Canada. And we'll be there soon. Merci.
Well, there's 35 seconds of my life I'll never get back. Plus,
Yep.
I could barely hear it. Which is not.
Well,
not
first off, it wasn't funny, and second off, it was Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, that's.
But look what Tucker was willing to do to liberate Canada.
What? Make a phone call?
Liberate them from whom?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what. That's the first question you'd want. I wish somebody in Canada would come liberate us, to tell you the truth.
Look,
especially if
Canada reaps many, many benefits by being our friendly neighbor to the north. Okay, we're the big brother, we're their big protector. They benefit from all of our goods and services. Some things are a little different. They do things a little quieter, a little stricter, but they try to distinguish themselves from us just a little bit. By the way, it's not an uncommon thing if you're traveling around Europe and Asia, instead of saying you're an American, say you're Canadian.
You're Canadian. Yes,
people like Canadians. Us, not so much.
Because Canadians ain't never done anything to anybody, eh?
No. Maybe make the maple syrup a little too sweet. The Maple Leafs haven't won a Stanley Cup in a. I could do hockey references here, but I will not.
Thank you.
And we'll just leave it at that. It's hockey, eh? Leave Canada out of this. They're a beautiful country. I've been there twice, and I think that's plenty. Although I will say this. Quebec, they can keep Quebec.
Oh, there ain't no doubt about that one. That's like Paris of Canada.
Oh, that's I dealt with French Canadians down in South Florida. My God, what a nasty.
Yes.
nasty, miserable. They are so dismissive of everybody. If you don't speak French, I was told more than once over the years, well, perhaps you should speak French because we come down to visit here. Dude, you're 1,600 miles or about 2,000
French, you're in my damn country.
That's the border is 1,600 miles or about 2,000 kilometers from here. You know, rethink that. Rethink that.
Yeah.
I had a guy, a French Canadian, was being a real jerk in the cab, and finally it got down to that. Well, you should speak French. I said, okay. I pulled over the cab. I said, au revoir.
Exactly.
which is French for see ya.
See ya. Exactly.
Pretty much. Hey, let's for just a second get off the Canada train here, if you will.
Chugga. A.
One of the things that I have noticed this particular season, I think we saw a little bit of it 4 years ago. We saw a little bit of it 4 years ago, but the number of adolescents that are getting into the political process.
How are they now?
Well, good for them if they know what the hell they're talking about. Let me.
We don't know what we're talking about half the time. Please.
So
sometimes.
So, anyways, I give you first, and this is only about 20 seconds long, so don't get your knickers in a wringer. But this is a guy by the name of Bo Loudon.
Bo Duke?
No, not Bo Duke. Bo Loudon.
Bo Diddley?
Yeah, that too. Here, I'll just let you give this a listen.
It is mind-boggling, and it was shocking, but at this point I'm just used to it. But when these pages and these people just make it their goal to attack a 15-year-old for his political views, it gets you thinking on how far has our country fallen at this point.
Yeah.
And how much saving does it need?
Yeah, shut up.
What the hell was he talking about?
Well, that's just that there's like no context there.
No.
I'm trying to give you some context.
Okay.
Oh, well. Let me get comfortable.
If I could get a little wedge
to the floor.
Well, yield something, goddammit. Anyways, he's now 17. Bo Loudon is his name. He is a Abbott. There's that name again. But big Trump supporter. Apparently he's got pictures from back when he was probably 13, 14 years old.
Ooh.
With posing with Trump. And I'm thinking, oh, well, didn't realize that Trump traveled down that road, but, nothing surprises me these days. But
should have checked for his wallet.
Yeah, no kidding. But anyways, so this Bo Loudon has been the latest of the Teen Titan Ultra MAGA that you'll see out there. And if you've never heard of him, I mean, he is on Twitter. He also does his time a little bit on some of the other alt-right television stations.
Let me guess. His parents are Trumpers.
I haven't heard word one about his parents, to tell you the truth.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
And so
he's 15, 17 years old. He can't vote yet, so shut the hell up. Mind your own damn business.
Hey, look,
apparently he will be able to vote by the time this election comes along.
The kid has taken a stand and he has an opinion. Now, there's no saying that he down the line, as he matures, as he gets older, as he escapes the grip of his paranoid MAGA parents,
delusion,
whatever, as he begins to explore the world a little bit more. He seems to have a pretty good worldview. Just a little bit I heard from him, but give him time to grow and mature. Right now, you repeat everything that your parents say. There are words I thought were perfectly fine until I was, 17, 18 years old. And I was, no, we don't say those.
Here's the thing. He doesn't have any worldly view whatsoever. He hasn't
from that.
He hasn't, escaped the wrath of Fox News. Hasn't been able to get off of the farm or off of his little rural America setting. He's barely reached puberty, if that. This is the age where the boys should be out there chasing little poontang, and he's out here trying to freelance for Trump.
How do you know he's not doing it the Trump way and just following girls into dressing rooms?
Exactly.
Well, this could very well be. But let me find you the polar opposite of this. This is a young man about the same age, if I'm not mistaken, named Eric Willoughby. Now, he's from Huntersville, North Carolina.
My name is Eric Willoughby. I'm a senior in high school, and I come to you today from North Mecklenburg County, Huntersville to be specific. And I'm here today to convey a very, very simple message. I'm 17. I should be spending my Wednesday afternoons with friends or family, but instead I'm here with y'all. I'm here because every single day I have to worry about which liberties Republican legislators are going to choose to gut next. They started by refusing to take action against gun violence and destroyed your right to peace of mind about something as simple as sending your child to school. Then they came for your right to make the most basic reproductive health care decisions that were right for you and your family. This time, they're coming for every North Carolinian's right to fair representation. This legislature is made up of the same people who have drawn maps that intentionally disenfranchise and limit the power of historically marginalized and minority voters. These are the same people who have proven to us time and time again through their voting record that they don't care. If these people cannot be trusted to protect our most basic rights, how can we trust them to draw fair and impartial maps that will promote a healthy and vibrant democracy? They can't. We can't trust them. The Republicans in this committee and the others in the House and Senate don't care about democracy. They don't care about fair maps. All they care about are three simple things: re-election, power, and dollar signs. This redistricting stunt is a clear power grab by Republicans in the General Assembly. So I urge you now, watch your step. Be very careful in what you choose to do, because young people like me are watching, and young people like me are fed up.
Now, that is what I would like to say is more like it.
Yeah, at least he had facts. He had agenda. He stated what he was talking about. The other guy just parrot.
No, Bill, once again, the first kid, it was completely out of context. We don't know.
Well, that's probably true too, yes.
We heard him take a position that is, basically repugnant to us, but we don't know. He was 15 at the time. There's no context around it. All we're seeing is the kid firing the machine gun. We don't know what happened before that. Was he attacked by monsters? Who's he shooting? We don't know. So I want to give the first kid, the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, I get where he's probably coming from. But now the second kid, yes, very well spoken. He was there for a specific reason. He addressed the specific issue. And he gave it to them, but good. As we all know, having watched this play out, it won't matter. Look, I think this whole redistricting thing is a scam. Municipal and natural borders. That is what should determine a district. Not this one's got X amount of Hispanics. This one's got X amount of Caucasians. You use the city limits, the county limits, natural borders, rivers, you name it, that kind of thing. Because we've talked about this redistricting before. Some of them, there's one, or at least there used to be one down in the state of Florida. Ran from South Florida well up past Orlando. You're not representing the same people there. Pick your spot. Hell, in Manhattan, there's like three or four different districts just in the island of Manhattan alone. But then again, there's more people there. So
understandable.
I will step down off that soapbox now. Now I feel invigorated.
Now the thing is,
you should.
The difference is, I have not, to my knowledge, and I don't follow him, but I have him on my notifications. So whenever he tweets something, I wind up getting a notification on it. So most of Bo Loudon's appearances are on some form of media to basically blow his horn about Trump. Plain and simple. He is a male cheerleader for Donald Trump.
And what's wrong with that?
Because
nothing other than that your brain's going to turn to Swiss cheese.
Oh, no, we disagree with him. But then again, welcome to America. This is the land of the free.
Oh, yeah, because he was crying about people chasing him and whatnot.
You have the full right in this country to spout this lunacy. Okay?
Yeah, you do.
And I
have the full right to call you an asshole.
That's right. Now, John, you repeated what I said, but basically this kid is in, as he grows up, as he matures, as he gets out and explores the world, perhaps his worldview changes. Perhaps it doesn't. But who are we to sit here and say, yes, we disagree with him without question, but he still has every right in the world to say it.
Okay.
Right in this country.
Okay. Let me. Yeah, well, I'm happy for you.
Oh, you missed the whole sub show that's been going on here, John.
Boy, yes, you have.
I guess.
Yes,
somehow missed isn't the appropriate word, I don't think.
Yeah, no, you missed it. You every time you look down, I wind up yawning, and Bill is just going crazy over there watching me because he desperately wants to say, Ed, are we keeping you awake?
Yeah, well.
You'll see it on the playback.
Anyways, what the point I was trying to make through this was that Eric Willoughby, regardless if you agree with him or not, he was actually making points.
I agree with you.
He was actually whereas Bo London or Loudon, whatever the hell his name is.
Ooh, you were right.
That was
there.
right on into the razor's edge there.
All he wants to do is Trump.
He's entitled to it. That's the thing, John. He's entitled. You don't want to hear it? Don't play it.
But you know what? I am entitled to, as a Twitter subscriber, as one of the hosts of this show, and what other reason I may have, I have that right to tell him that A, he's a complete lunatic, and 2, he's probably going to be living in Mama's basement till he's 40, and he will die the 40-year-old virgin for all we know.
And you are more than welcome to that opinion. Again, what we saw of him was just 15 seconds or so.
Yes,
we did not get any context at all. Oh, I'm sure we could speculate and we can extrapolate what he was talking about. But for the most part, he's entitled to his point of view, whether you like it or not. I don't want to hear what
I'm afraid to play anything longer than a 30-second video because you all of a sudden go into cardiac arrest. But
now you're changing the subject. Now you're deflecting, Mr. Trump.
Yes, you are.
Well, it is what it is.
Well, before we finish up here, I got a couple more things that I want to get out there, apropos of nothing. I need to get these off my script sheet. Some of them have been there for a while. Ron DeSantis, he gave up. He suspended his presidential campaign. He should be forced to carry it. I'm sorry, Bill. Is there something I can help you with? All right. Anyway, Ron DeSantis should be forced to carry his presidential campaign to term. That's one. That's an abortion thing for those of you not paying attention.
Oh,
thank you.
You do have a point. He started it. He should have to finish it.
That's right. Republicans, they campaign that government doesn't work, then get elected and prove it. Russian going to Ukraine, where we haven't been in a long time. The Russians are losing so many generals, they're going to have to call up Mike Flynn from the bullpen. I've been waiting to get that one in for about a month. And finally, this one's been sitting for 2 months, and I haven't been able to squeeze it in yet. Crocodiles can grow up to 15 feet, but most only have 4. And
boom, boom. Don't forget to tip your waiters and waitresses. Good night.
That script is done. Some of those have been on there for a long time, and it's barred.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
Will Robinson, warning! Danger! Danger!
The robot only said that like 2 or 3 times in that 3 or 4 years that show was on. Danger, Will Robinson. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh, let's see. I think we'll put that off until football.
Well, you brought up Ron DeSantis, so I have to bring this up. And I did check it when I told you about this yesterday, Ed. That apparently he does have a set of colonies. I don't know how big they are, but apparently they're there somehow or another. Because Trump wants the state of Florida to pay his legal expenses. And DeSantis went, not here, buddy. Nope. You're on your own. See you, big boy.
I haven't seen that anywhere, though. I don't doubt you, but I
double checked on it, and yep, that's exactly what's happened. He was wanting the state of Florida to pay his legal expenses, and DeSantis told him to go to hell.
Or go to Miami. Same thing.
Go to either way. You can go to Austin. That'll do the same thing.
Ooh. What do you think that'll be DeSantis will probably be the guy that gets asked to run as his running mate because when it comes right down to it, Trump is getting to be too much damaged goods for anybody else to really hang their hats on.
We got more.
Have you noticed how most of the people that they interview on a lot of these things are saying the same thing? I'm tired of the drama. I'm just tired of it. Wherever he goes, he's dragging it with him. Yeah, and I mean, we did. We warned you, but okay.
If he was the type of person to leave the drama to the side, we wouldn't have the problems we have.
Exactly.
No,
he's not that he cannot, and more importantly, will not do that. So, and if you think it was something first time around, you want to talk about no guardrails, they're digging up the asphalt off the roads too.
And they're even banging the gong.
They are.
How about that? Well, we got 1 hour under our belts here, folks. We'll be back for another hour of this if you can tolerate it. We hope you come back and join us. You are listening to the did it again. to Just Killing Time on Radio TFI.
TFI.
You've found Just Killing Time.
I'm going to take a bath.
I'll alert the media.
On Radio TFI. Join the conversation. You can reach the guys at 754-800-CHAT, 754-800-2428. On social media, search for Radio TFI USA. From a payphone, call collect.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
I would have been out here a little bit sooner, but they gave me the wrong dressing room, and I couldn't find any place to put my stuff. And I don't know how you are, but I need a place to put my stuff. So that's what I've been doing back there, just trying to find a place for my stuff. You know how important that is. That's the whole meaning of life, isn't it? Trying to find a place for your stuff. That's all your house is. Your house is just a place for your stuff. If you didn't have so much goddamn stuff, you wouldn't need a house. You could just walk around all the time. That's all your house is. It's a pile of stuff with a cover on it. You see that when you take off in an airplane and you look down and you see everybody's got a little pile of stuff. Everybody's got their own pile of stuff. And when you leave your stuff, you got to lock it up. Wouldn't want somebody to come by and take some of your stuff. They always take the good stuff. They don't bother with that crap you're saving. Ain't nobody interested in your 4th grade arithmetic papers. They're looking for the good stuff. That's all your house is. It's a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Now, sometimes you've got to move. You got to get a bigger house. Why? Too much stuff. You've got to move all your stuff. And maybe put some of your stuff in storage. Now imagine that. There's a whole industry based on keeping an eye on your stuff. Enough about your stuff. Let's talk about other people's stuff. Did you ever notice when you go to somebody else's house, you never quite feel 100% at home? You know why? No room for your stuff. Somebody else's stuff is all over the place. And what awful stuff it is. Where did they get this stuff? And if you have to stay overnight at someone's house, you know, unexpectedly, and they give you a little room to sleep in that they don't use that often, someone died in it 11 years ago, and they haven't moved any of his stuff. Or wherever they give you to sleep, usually right near the bed, there's a dresser, and there's never any room on the dresser for your stuff. Someone else's shit is on the dresser. Have you noticed that their stuff is shit, and your shit is stuff? Get that off of there. Now, sometimes you go on vacation, you gotta bring some of your stuff with you. You can't bring all your stuff, just the stuff you really like. The stuff that fits you well that month. Let's say you're gonna go to Honolulu. You're gonna go all the way to Honolulu. You gotta take 2 big bags of stuff, plus your carry-on stuff, plus the stuff in your pockets. You get all the way to Honolulu and you get in your hotel room and you start to put away your stuff. That's the first thing you do in a hotel room is put away your stuff. I'll put some stuff in here, put some stuff down there. Here's another place for some stuff here. I'll put some stuff over there. You put your stuff over there. I'm putting my stuff over here. Here's another place for some stuff. Hey, we got more places than we've got stuff. We're gonna have to buy more stuff. Yeah. And you put all your stuff away, and you know that you're thousands of miles from home, and you don't quite feel at ease, but you know that you must be okay because you do have some of your stuff with you. And you relax in Honolulu on that basis. That's when your friend from Maui calls and says, hey, why don't you come over to Maui for the weekend? Spend a couple of nights over here. Oh, shit, no. Now what stuff do you bring? Right, you've got to bring an even smaller version of your stuff. Just enough stuff for a weekend on Maui. And you get over, and you're really spread out now. You've got shit all over the world. You've got stuff at home, stuff in storage, stuff in Honolulu, stuff in Maui, stuff in your pocket. Supply lines are getting longer and harder to maintain. But you get over to your friend's house in Maui, and they give you a little place to sleep, and there's a little window ledge or some kind of a small shelf, and there's not much room on it, but it's okay because you don't have much stuff now. And you put what stuff you do have up there. You put your imported French toenail clippers, your odor readers with the 45-day guarantee, your cinnamon-flavored dental floss, and your Afrin 12-hour decongestant nasal spray. And even though you're a long way from home, you know that you must be okay because you do have your Afrin 12-hour decongestant nasal spray. And you relax in Maui on that basis. That's when your friend says, hey, I think tonight we'll go over the other side of the island and stay at my friend's house overnight. Oh, shit, no. No! What do you bring? Now you just bring the things you know you're gonna need. Money, keys, comb, wallet, lighter, hanky, pen, cigarettes, contraceptives, Vaseline, whips, chains, whistles, dildos, and a book.
And hey, welcome back. You're back with us here on hour 2 of Just Killing Time, here on Radio TFI and on the Radio TFI streaming network. Once again from the Great Lakes, what do I call it these days? The Great Lakes Command Center. That's what I call it these days, here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm John Shannon. Over there to my left from the Radio TFI headquarters, the building that's up about 12 levels up into the cloud cover, is the one and only Ed Van Ness. Once again, good morning, sir.
Good morning, kids and kittens. By the way, it is exactly 347 stories tall.
Well, it's high. You have high clouds.
Well, yeah, it also matches the number of wins that one Don Schuler achieved in his career. I am desperate to find ways to play that. Also joining us, well, no, he's not. Somewhere, Bill Fancher is about. We don't know where. We literally can't see him on the camera. Oh, well, there he is.
There he is.
We're gonna bring Bill into the fold right now, and he won't let me. There he is. Good. Hello, Bill.
All right, gentlemen. Before we start into the much anticipated parts of hour number 2 here, I wanted to. I had something that was brought to my attention here just during the break.
You can't prove it. I was out of town. I have an alibi.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, unlike what you may think, it isn't all about you.
What?
Not this time, at least.
Shocking.
Yeah. This is a message put out by one Donald J. Trump sometime within the last hour on his exclusive because he's about the only one on it, Truth Media. Or Truth Social, whatever.
Oh,
Thank you. No, actually, I dropped that.
Oh, okay.
I really did. You know what? I just didn't have enough hours in my day because it's like when you start dragging on Trump and you start, then you want to almost make a commitment to drag on everything that he says. So I just decided, I don't want to.
Okay.
But anyway, this is what brought to my attention here. He says, Alina may have lost the case. She may not have had the experience that was needed in this very high-profile case. Probably higher profile than she ever thought she would be involved in at this point. Maybe next time I'll choose a law firm and a lawyer that has some more practical experience in high-ticket litigation. But she stood her ground, and she learned. Stay strong, MAGA.
So, in other words, he's okay with the spokesmodel attorney. Just cost him $80-something million, but she's pretty, so that's really
well. It's like I said on Twitter, and a couple people disagreed because they didn't think he'd be able to find anybody any better. But he could have found 100 different attorneys that would have been more experienced.
Holy crap! I thought I saw what I saw.
What?
Bill's wearing makeup. What'd you do to your eyelashes, your eyebrows? She beating you again? You don't want to talk about it? We're on the radio, It was Bill shaking his head. That's the noise you're hearing in the background. I swear it looks like kabuki makeup.
It's a Band-Aid.
It's hard to see from here.
I know. She hurt me.
She hurt you, huh?
She hurt me really bad.
Oh, okay.
I'm a scared.
Really? Did you see how bad I
there's this little bit of me that wants to believe him.
Oh God! Can we move on, please? Please, can we move on?
Now you wasted a perfectly good Band-Aid for that little charade.
Thousands of them. She'll make sure of that.
Oh my God! Too funny. Too funny. Well, gentlemen, here, let me find my script here real quick, and we will get to going here to, there it is, right
What's
now.
up with the script to say, cue the band?
Well, there's much more to it than that. And before I start this, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know that my brownies, my peach jello, and a cake are all in the oven, all for pregame snacks for later on.
Boy, by the way, I've only got to hear cue the band once.
That's exactly right. I knew it. You were sitting there with that grin on your face, just waiting for it.
Exactly. All right, folks, let's get into it here. We got some birthdays to talk about from January 28th, which is today, by the way, in case you guys didn't know, right through February 3rd. We start out with one of my favorites here today. Alan Alda turns 88 years old today.
Wow.
I could live to be 100 and would never get tired of that show.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody, of course it's MASH, but have you ever seen him in some of his other shows and movies and stuff? He's played like a bad guy in a few things. And
I've seen that. Yeah.
Kind of cool seeing him as a bad guy.
I've seen him on Broadway.
Oh, you can't be bad on Broadway.
No, actually, it was a role he was made for, and he's just a great actor. He's a great actor.
He really is. He really is. Exactly. Amy Coney Dog Barrett turns 52 years old. And I'm sure that Ed threw this in because I know I didn't. Ed threw this in just for our benefit, Bill. Dante Culpepper turns 47 years old.
Well, it's funny, too. We were talking about him last week.
Just last week, yeah.
Still remember his first preseason game where he had, I forget who they were playing, but he took on a bull rush right away. I think they were blitzing, and he had the biggest deer in the headlight look I have ever seen in my whole life. I tell you, it was funny, but he developed into quite a good quarterback, I will have to say.
For a couple of years.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to Monday now, the 29th, where Tom Selleck turns 79.
He's almost played the police chief Reagan longer than he played Magnum.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
I have never watched a beginning to end show from
Blue Bloods.
Blue Bloods. I haven't seen a one. And just so you'll be happy now, you'll get a car. You'll get a car.
Oh, Jesus.
Because Oprah Winfrey turns 70 years old.
There was a great skit that Saturday Night Live did. It was a takeoff on that. And they show the women in the audience. They're going berserk. Heads are popping off, women giving birth. It was just mayhem. You get a car. You get a car. It was.
I want a car.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Also on the 29th, Heather Graham turns 54 years old.
Most definitely a member of the Forever 21 Club. You know Heather Graham. Let's see. She was in one of the Austin Powers movies. I think was it the first one.
Oh, okay.
No. The Gold member. Second one. Anyway, she was. You've seen her on a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
She's all
Take
over
your word
the
for
place.
it.
You're gonna have to at this point.
Yeah, that Gold member. That was the movie that they had to get my permission to use the title for.
She was in The Hangover, Bill. She played the hooker in The Hangover.
Oh, all right, cool.
That was easy enough to say, hooker in The Hangover.
Yeah, I remembered that one right off the bat.
I know.
All right, moving on to Tuesday, the 30th, where Gene Hackman turns 94 years old.
Wow.
Retired from acting. I believe he's living in either Arizona or New Mexico.
Did he actually retire?
He actually retired.
Okay.
They say they see him around the little town. You know, he's just another citizen. He doesn't look anything like, age has not treated him well.
Well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like Popeye Doyle or like
no.
Or like Lex Luthor.
No. No. Sadly.
The president from Mooseport.
Yeah.
All right, moving on now. Also, Dick Cheney turns 83 on Tuesday.
How old are the pellets that are
Be
in them?
very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
I had to find something with a hunting theme to it.
Uh-huh.
Phil Collins turned 73 years old on Tuesday.
I was just going to say.
I once heard a radio DJ refer to Phil Collins as the Cabbage Patch Kid of rock and roll.
Okay, I could see that. I could see that.
You're the only one I can think of that can see that.
Can you
Good
picture
Lord.
a Cabbage Patch Kid, John?
Excuse me?
Can you picture a Cabbage Patch Kid in your head?
Yes.
Well, Phil Collins looked like one of them.
Looked like one of them. Bald
Move
head.
on. Move on.
Okay.
Well, I know what we're going to hear for this. Also on Tuesday, Christian Bale turns 50 years old.
I'm Batman.
Shocking.
I was desperately trying to find I am vengeance. I am the night.
I am a Batman.
I hate Batman. Yeah, you got about 9 to choose from nowadays. Let's see. On the 31st, Wednesday, Jonathan Banks turns 78 years old.
Now, who doesn't know who Jonathan Banks is?
The name don't ring a bell right now.
Okay. Did you see Better Call Saul?
No.
Breaking Bad?
No.
Heard of it, but not really.
That's his most recent, most popular role. Believe me, you look him up, you're going to know exactly who he is.
Okay.
He's been in a gazillion movies.
Also on the 31st, Nolan Ryan turns 76 years old.
And I bet you he can still throw a fastball at 76 miles an hour.
Oh, I bet you're right.
And he can still put noogies on Robin Ventura's head.
He threw out a first pitch a couple of years ago, and he just like boom. He threw.
Oh, do you have a little gas on it?
Oh yeah, I mean, for a man who is 70 years old, give or take,
he still probably throws good 80 miles an hour.
Wouldn't surprise me.
And he's a smart enough man that if he had to throw in today, he'd probably develop a knuckle curve. Just for giggles. All right. Also on the 31st, Wednesday, Casey, who is known by his mom and dad as Harry Wayne Casey, turns 73 years old.
South Florida boy. He's a South Florida boy. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh, Bill. Bill's trying to put his best grumpy face on. I don't want to listen to this shit.
No. That stuff gives me PTSD, so it's a different story.
All right.
Thank you.
Today's your day, Bill. All right. Also on Wednesday the 31st, Justin Timberlake turns 43 years old.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, he was the musical guest on Saturday Night Live last night.
Here's $1.
Oh, was he?
Who cares?
Yeah.
All right, moving on to February 1st, which, if I'm not mistaken, is Thursday. Garrett Morris turns 87 years old.
And baseball been very, very good to him.
Now, I hunted. Yes, baseball been very, very good to me. Chico Escuela. I hunted high and low.
And you can't find it?
Can't find it.
Wow.
You can't find it. You can find the headmaster for the School for the Hard of Hearing. That you can find.
Today's news.
Actually, that one was from the Chevy Chase show, and
Weekend Update.
Well, no, when Chevy Chase had his own.
No,
show.
Chevy Chase had his own.
Okay.
Garrett Morris
exactly.
came on, they did that bit, but no, NBC has got that stuff all locked up. You just cannot find it. And
I know about you by now, Ed.
I understand copyright and all that.
Well, he actually had a baseball card too. There was actually a Chico Escuela baseball card.
Oh, I went down the rabbit hole yesterday. Oh, I had seen all that stuff before, but it was nice.
God forbid you find it now.
They did a whole bit one year where they sent him down to spring training with the Mets. Bill Murray was there as the sports reporter. And it was his comeback. And I can't ever get past the fact that he wears number 5. That was the number that Ed Charles wore in 1969. That's my Mets, my 69 Mets. Okay. Moving on.
All right. Also on the first, Pauly Shore turns 56 years old.
Not always as funny as he thinks he is. Sometimes.
No. That's for damn certain.
By the way, you know who his mother was?
Mm-hmm.
Dinah.
She owned the Laugh Factory.
No, it's the Improv out now.
Or the Improv, I'm sorry.
Mitzi Shore.
Mitzi Shore.
So, was it Mitzi Shore?
I believe it was.
It wasn't Dinosaur? Oh, Jesus. Look at you.
Like, you got the crickets? Well, I don't even deserve crickets.
Oh, I said I'm loading my machine up with some crickets there because you two,
moving on.
Moving on to February 2nd, where Brett Spiner, or is it Spiner or Spinner? I'm not
Spiner. It's Data.
Oh, that's Data?
That's
Data.
Oh, I didn't know his real name. Or more recently from the 2 Independence Day movies.
Independence Day movies, yes.
He turned 75.
He turned 75.
Or will.
Only 5 years behind him. Oh, you can believe this one? On the 2nd, Christine Brinkley turns 70.
Oh.
A, she's a charter member of the Forever 21 Club. B, it's Christy Brinkley, not Christine.
Oh, it is Christy Brinkley. Excuse me.
It most certainly is, my friend.
Easy does it.
Bill, check your breathing.
Easy does it.
Check your breathing, Bill.
Uptown Girl.
She was in that video.
And that's who it was written for.
I know.
So there you go.
Well, and you gotta cut him a little slack. Right now, his breathing is the only thing that gets hard for him. So
hey now.
You don't know how close to the truth you are.
It's a Nolan Ryan fastball right down the middle. Boom! Look at the smoke.
Look, it doesn't need to be hard when it's 42 inches long.
Hey now.
Okay. Nice try, but all right, moving on here on the 2nd.
That sumbitch.
Shakira turns 47 years old.
Whenever, wherever, we're meant to be together. I'll be there and you'll be near. And that's the deal, my dear. They're all what you're under. You never have to wonder. We can always play by ear. But that's the deal, my dear.
You notice she kind of sounds like a combination of Pat Benatar and Dolly Parton.
Also,
that's a good point.
Also famous for These Hips Don't Lie. Do you guys know who Shakira is?
Oh, I've seen her. I've never paid much attention to her.
Well, you look up Shakira and one of her music videos. I promise you will pay attention. By the way, another charter member of the Forever 21 Club. this girl can, her hips do not lie. Let me tell you, when they start going, ay, ay, oy, 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 oy.
All right. The last one here for Friday the 2nd is well, but isn't this a coincidence?
Isn't it?
The character Data.
For real?
He's actually minus 314 years old.
Well, yeah, I was going to say,
because he was born in 2338 in the Star Trek Next Generation series.
I did not know that.
Happy soon to be birthday there, Data.
That came as a complete surprise as I was.
And I actually had a cat named Spot. I did that on purpose.
Oh,
let's keep
okay. All right, we're moving on to Saturday the 3rd, where once again Ed throws in another Vikings reference just to rub it in that I missed it. Fran Tarkenton turns 84 years old.
The man himself?
Number 10.
Wow. Which
That's
kind of
it.
surprised me how they let Eli Manning wear number 10 in New York.
Oh, nobody cared about Fran Tarkenton.
But Fran didn't do that much in New York anyway.
He did not. He did not.
this is
I remember
true.
when he was playing. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, also on the 3rd, Greasy Bob. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's Bob Greasy.
Greasy Bob.
Turns 79 years old. Yeah, wait a minute. You already played that once.
Yeah, he's going to play it twice now. Sure.
And the last but not least, Nathan Lane turns 68 years old.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Yeah, baby, that's all, folks.
Well,
and now we're on to the really good stuff.
Are you looking forward to this particular segment for some reason there, Bill?
Slightly.
We got to get right into it. So somebody please.
Cue the
Cue the
mother
band.
band.
It's time for John and Ed versus the Spread, your weekly foray into the exciting world of pigskin prognostication. Each week, John, I'm sitting in the darkness, Shannon. Bill, breathing is the only hard thing I have anymore. Panther. Gerald, the computer who wears tennis shoes, and I will choose professional football games and select winners using the point spread. At the end of the season, the winner will claim possession of the Radio TFI Gilchrist Ceremonial Sippy Cup. Extra
No, they
points
won't.
are earned by going for it with a 2 or 3 point conversion if we have their nerve. Ladies and gentlemen, kids and kittens, it's... Oh, John and Ed versus the Spread. Well. Here we are, kids and kittens.
Why? I'm winning this thing and I get no billing. I've yet to figure this out.
What do you mean you get no billing?
Yeah, it's John.
Your
and
mama
Ed
and
versus
daddy
the-
gave you your
John
billing
and
when
Ed-
you were a
John
baby.
and Ed versus the spread, and I'm the one that's winning.
Bill?
I still haven't quite figured this
Have we
out
not
yet.
discussed this about interrupting me?
Yes, we have. Does this look like a face that cares?
No. All right. Let me start that again. Well. Here we are. It's the penultimate week of the NFL season.
The penultimate.
Next to last. Jeez, this is going to be a tough one to get through. It is conference championship day here on the big radio TFI and all over the NFL. Let's take a peek at last week and how we all did in the divisional. Well, would you look at that in the first game? Only John picked a winner. In the second game, Only John got it wrong.
Got it wrong.
In the fourth game, John was the only one that got it right. And in the Kansas City Buffalo game, John and Bill both got it right. They picked up points. And anyway, we're going to move on now. It's we don't need to be looking at who got what and who didn't get what.
No.
Just got John picked up 3 wins, and I went for 2, and Gerald did all sorts of silly things.
Yes,
so
he did.
let's take a look at the scoreboard, which we don't have to linger on.
Oh my goodness!
But there's Bill Fancher perched atop the leaderboard with 67 points, followed by Gerald with 56 points.
You can't let
John
that shit
Shannon,
fly.
John Shannon with 54, and I'm
Ed mathematically eliminated Van Ness.
No, not really. Not really. There's a lot to go yet, but it's going to take some doing. I need a lot of help. I'm one of those 7 and 8 teams at the last week of the season, and
That ruins your season for you. Yeah.
He has to throw a Hail Mary pass with a rocket launcher. So
I got to throw a bunch of them. So let's start out. Let's see what John's looking at for both of our games today. John?
All right. This is the week of the underdog, if you will. I'm Kansas City visiting Baltimore. You know what? It's before the Super Bowl, the last game of the year before the Super Bowl. I want to pick the games that I want these people to win, actually. I want these teams to win. So Chiefs are a 4-point dog going into Baltimore. I'm taking the Chiefs, going with the over at 44.5. And the lie downs are going into San Francisco, where they're a 7-point dog. I am going to take Detroit, and also taking the over on 51.5 points.
All right, let's see what young Mr. Fancher, our leader, who really thinks he's going to get that cup. Bill, what do you think?
Hold your breath.
Unlike John, who's picking the teams he wants to win, I'm picking the teams that will win.
Oh, this is going to come back and
honestly, I want Kansas City to win. I really do, but I think Baltimore's finally gotten over the hurdle, and Jackson, as much trouble as Kansas City had with the quarterback from Buffalo, they're going to have more trouble with Jackson. So I'm taking Baltimore -4, going over 44.5. And I really wanted to take Detroit -7, or +7, but I think the Niners are just set and ready to go. I just don't think Detroit's got enough oomph left. They've spanked the wagon and they're done. So Frisco -7, over 51.5, and there's your Super Bowl teams.
And by the way, Bill, I'm just asking, do you think the fact that they had trouble chasing Josh Allen around because it was bitter, brutal cold in Buffalo, and they're not going to have that in Baltimore today?
So Jackson means he's going to be nice and warm and ready to run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree with you. All right, let's now, I just want to say before we get further, for all the years I've been doing picks, just for myself, just for the something happened this year that has never happened before.
Sprained his brain.
Yeah, I did.
Sprained his brain.
I went 0-4 the wild card round. It wasn't until the second game last week that I've only had one win in the postseason. This is unreal. Anyway, it's not looking good.
That was the dagger in your heart.
Oh, man. So now this leaves me no choice but to do this.
Holy sheep shit.
We're
surprised you didn't go for 3 in both of them.
For a violation of the verbal morality statute.
Holy caca pee-pee.
Going for three seems. I'm going for two with both underdogs. I'm taking Kansas City, giving up 6.5 points. I'm taking Detroit, giving up 6.5 points because this is my only shot. I'm going under with the Baltimore Kansas City game and over with the San Francisco game. If I don't now, remember today the games are worth 4 points. I can at best pick up 16 points. Now, some of that stuff I'm going to pick up.
No, you can get 18.
Yeah, I can get 18, but if I win on some of them, Knuckle Nuts here wins on some.
Then I win too.
Yeah, so it's Super Bowl is going to be. It's going to be all about the prop bets for me.
All I'm going to do is just pick. I'll just pick everything you pick and shut you out, and that'll be the end of it.
The hell you will. So anyway, there are my picks, and lo and behold, guess who made it back for this?
Oh
week?
No! And he's going for 3 on everything.
Well, you'll just have to listen to him.
Holy smokes! Wow.
Good morning, gentlemen. Allow me to begin by apologizing for missing last week's show. There was, shall we say, an incident at the border. I am not at liberty to provide details. However, suffice it to say, Senor Geraldo is no longer welcome at the Espectaculo d'Amor di Burro. My attorney, Senor Gilberto Cristo, has advised me, in his words, to keep my big trap shut. Ay caramba. As poorly as I performed last week, and not just my picks, I still wound up in second place. Sure beats being Arrojado a una presión mexicana. Oops. And now, on with the picks. Great goodly moodly. The Kansas City Chiefs have to actually go on the road in the postseason. The Baltimore Ravens are licking their collective chops. If they have their way, Mahomes will need to have Jake from State Farm on speed dial. I hope the Swifties enjoy the game. I'm going for 2 with the Ravens. 13.5 points will be a snap. When do I take the over? Nevermore. Moving on to the NFC. Just because the game is being played in the city by the bay, the San Francisco 49ers think they will be kicking kitty caboose. I don't think so. No jet lag for these Lions. I believe they have the courage to be victorious. Then it's on to Vegas, baby. Going for 2 on this one. The underdog Cats, minus 6.5 points. As always, I'll take the under. Finally, I like long walks, especially when they are taken by people who annoy me. Enjoy the games.
Gerald had a bit of a problem last week, and
he did. He must have worked 2 days for 33 hours.
Apparently, he's apparently he's no longer welcome at the Donkey Love Show. And,
nope, apparently not.
So let's recap.
And you told him so much about it.
They call that guy Superman. That's a
wow. I'm the only one taking the Niners.
All right, so let's recap. John is taking the over on both games. He likes his Kansas City Chiefs and Detroit. I am taking Kansas City and Detroit, going for 2. I like the under on the Kansas City Baltimore game and the over on the Detroit San Francisco game. Bill likes the Ravens and the over. He likes the Niners and the over. Gerald, meanwhile, is going for 2 on both games. He's taken Baltimore, giving up 13.5 points with the under. And also he's taken Detroit, giving up 6.5 points, just like I am. Boy, that's going to suck if that happens. And he's going for 2. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kids and kittens. That's going to conclude John and Ed versus the spread for this week, this next to last week of actual football action. We will be back next week with a recap of this week and our little Super Bowl preview. We can't wait to talk about that. In the meantime, while you have plenty of places to go, be it websites or apps or actual casinos, to go to bet real money on these games. When it comes to using the information we provide, John, what is it we always say?
Just don't bring my money.
Just don't bring my money. And that's going to do it for John and Ed versus the spread. While I have your attention, just a reminder, this Saturday, February 3rd, we have Hot Stove League Baseball from the year 1962. The 1 o'clock game is the Detroit Tigers versus the New York Yankees at Yankee Stadium. At 4 o'clock, it's the New York Mets in their first year visiting the San Francisco Giants. That's the 4 p.m. game. Both these games from May 27th, 1962, from the same day. Give it a listen if you're interested. In between games, we have some cool baseball-related songs and bits and all that. And you get to hear the dulcet tones of one John W. Shannon. That's it, boys.
Can we let's get back on football here real quick. By the way, I already know that Diane is picking the Ravens and the Niners for the Super Bowl. Well, only because there's an outside chance that if it's the Ravens and the Niners in the Super Bowl, I won't give 3 F's about it.
You won't watch it.
You're going to boycott the game? Is that it?
That's ridiculous. If you don't care about the game, you got to watch the commercials.
Well, this is a valid point. Yeah. This is a very valid point. Hey, listen, before we get completely off the subject, did you hear about this situation in Buffalo where the Bills kicker Tyler Bass has been he deactivated all of his social media accounts after receiving death threats over his missed kick last night? Or that,
the only reason I can laugh about this is because the Vikings, they're horrible in this. But how do you lose 2 big games with a wide right?
Right. Of all the ways it could have been described. Now,
as soon as he kicked that, I started laughing my ass because I went, "Oh no, it's wide right."
Oh, the wing. But look, it's unfortunate that your team lost. And it was, but I mean, to sit there and act like, oh, gee, if I threaten this guy with death, that's going to make him play better. I mean, it's a game. Nobody's as disappointed as I am in their team falling short, but move on. That's
it's like all the people in Chicago with the Bartman character. We're going to kill him too.
But the biggest problem with that, and I've been saying this for years since it happened, to hear them say it, he was the only one that reached for that ball. There were at least 8, 9 other people there doing the same exact thing, only he caught it. That's the only difference. And those people in Chicago, I mean, look, the guy was sitting there minding his own business, watching the game.
And he did not reach into the field of play to get that ball. The ball was in the stands.
That is, and
by NFL rules, he has as much right to it as the ball player.
That's Major League Baseball rules, by the way.
Well, by NFL, he still got the right to it.
There you go.
It's instinct that kicked in for him. I mean, you got a baseball coming in your direction. Of course, you're going to try to catch the damn thing.
Well, again, look at the screenshot and look at the 8 or 9 other people.
Exactly.
You know why they picked on him? Because he was a quiet-looking, mousy kind of guy.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't put up a fight. They're all effing cowards. And by the way, I promise you, whoever's sending death threat to Mr. Bass, I can't think of his first name right now. I promise you, he didn't sign it with his name and address.
Of course they don't. It's Twitter balls.
It's a football game. Doink.
Exactly.
You missed the win. Look, the wind grabbed that like it was nobody's.
Oh,
business.
it did. It is.
Yeah,
Woohoo!
very true.
Look, if that's a no-wind game, that's going right through. You can
exactly.
see the wind did it. Why don't you threaten?
He didn't choke on that kick. He did not choke on the kick.
No, he kicked
I
it.
saw
The elements took over. Next to be you. Let's
But
face.
I still can't help but laugh. You know,
face
two
the Buffalo Bills are not. They're not destined to win it all. That is not their place.
Them and the Vikings.
Oh,
could you
maybe.
imagine? Could you imagine a Vikings Buffalo Super Bowl? The game would be played on into October.
You know, it's funny when the Red Sox won. I kept because the Cubs were in the NLCS, and I kept saying, "Oh my God! If both the Red Sox and the Cubs make it, it'll go to a game 7, and it'll never end because neither team is." I kind of miss the fact that both those teams now Boston's won it like 3-4 times. You know, I kind of like them as the lovable losers. You know, and,
the thing here with that kick, it was funny. I saw a video on the Twitter where there was a guy that had a high-powered fan sitting to the left of his television, and as soon as the kick went up, the guy turned on the fan, and probably he was definitely a Chiefs fan. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, like Bill said, the kid didn't choke on that one. He put that up as straight and true as you can, but you had high winds that day. I mean, what are you going to do? You got to, it's not one of these rinky-dink weak teams that plays indoors.
God is not a Buffalo fan. That's all I can say. Because I mean, the ball goes here and all of a sudden slap off and away.
Now, back in the Super Bowl,
that might be something that might actually make me believe that there is a higher power out there.
What was the kicker's name in the Super Bowl with the Giants?
With the Giants?
Or with Buffalo?
Well, he was with Buffalo, but the first wide right.
Yeah, against the Giants. Yeah,
I can't think of his name.
Norwood?
God. Yes, yep. Norwood. Scott Norwood.
Now that was a joke.
That was a joke. Yes,
that was a joke.
Yeah, that was kind of a quacker. But
this one, no. If you're in Buffalo and you're listening to us, first, sorry. Why? Yeah, we apologize for the last 2 hours. You've had a tough enough week. Yeah, why? But look, it's drown your sorrows. Guess what? It's not the first year you've lost, and I promise you, it will not be the last. Keep in mind, in the NFL, 31 teams failed to meet their objective every season. What do you start out in training camp? It's the same thing in hockey, baseball. You pick your sport. Only one.
Yeah, you're going for the big prize,
and only one team can achieve that every year. So suck it up, Buttercup. Better luck. Well,
walk it off, Snackberry.
It's it. Walk it off. But it's bleeding, Coach. Well, then walk faster.
Walk fast.
Well, I didn't. I remember the last time. I didn't watch the last Super Bowl that Baltimore played in for whatever reason. I have no interest whatsoever in the Baltimore Ravens. I have no interest in them
Doug,
whatsoever.
I don't either. I don't like the franchise. I don't like Lamar Jackson. He's the ugliest man in the NFL. He scares you just to look at him. That's why he can run so well. He just looks at people and they go, ah! And,
he looks like wrestling's our truth.
Exactly. I would personally love to see Kansas City and Detroit play in the Super Bowl.
I would too. I think that would be a good Super Bowl.
Yeah. But I just don't in my heart believe it's going to happen.
John, by the way, without looking this up, I'm pretty confident that the last time the Ravens played in the Super Bowl was about 11 years ago when the Harbaugh brothers coached against each other.
Harbaugh.
Yeah, I remember that.
What did I say?
What was that? Was that 9? Was that no? Wait a minute. Who was Harbaugh coaching for at the time?
It was the Niners and the Ravens.
Well, it was the
wasn't it?
Niners and the Ravens. Huh? That's what I kind of thought.
And now the other
I'll
one's
be
going
damned.
Charges.
Charges.
So anyway,
I see Billick decided not to go to Atlanta, huh?
Did he?
Or Belichick said, "Okay, well, are they kicked? I don't know. Somebody
I
gonna pick him up."
I think the decision was made for him as far as Atlanta was concerned.
I do believe so.
I don't think Belichick. I think Belichick's going to wind up just being a GM somewhere if he does anything. Because
what he should do, he just wants to stick around and break Shula's record. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah, you could be right. You could be right.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Belichick now? 312 or something like that? 300?
Yeah, I think he's a few seasons away.
Let him go down and coach for Miami. That would be the
dear God.
No.
That would be the ultimate.
That would be the ultimate insult.
We're doing fine, thank you very much. Doing just fine. We don't need
go to Washington.
He has 333 career wins.
And Shula is what, 347?
347. So it's one good season.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably
but the teams that are out there are not good teams.
They're not 14-win teams. And he wants to break it. So he needs 15. He needs 15. And
so I said a couple of seasons.
Yeah, I don't. Well, he's 71 years old now. I don't know. Look, I don't know him. I don't know that he wants to invest that kind of time again. You know, remember, whoever he comes in to coach is going to be at least a partial rebuild because he's just going to tear the house apart and build it the way he likes it. So you got to figure at least 2 seasons just.
And what's the point at 71? What's the point in doing that?
I mean, it could happen. I mean, let's look at.
Stranger things have happened.
Good.
It could. I mean, look at the year before last year with when the Vikings picked up. What the hell is his name now?
I have no clue.
O'Connell.
Bill. Thank you, Kevin O'Connell. You know, they were kind of in a partial rebuild, and he took them to win the NFC North and, had a hell of a season. So, I mean, it could happen very well.
Anything's possible, but for him to, like I said, I think, and I don't even know what teams are available. I mean, any team could be available. There are owners out there who would toss out a winning program to get the likes of Bill Belichick. But the question is, does Belichick want to devote 3, 4, 5 years to this? Because that's what it's going to take. The first couple of years, it's going to be just tearing out all the plumbing and whatnot. And, he might he had 4 wins with the Patriots this year?
Yeah, I think it was.
Well, here's something else you got to think about, though, too, is that Belichick might be becoming a little bit too predictable. At his age, he pretty much has his ways, and if there probably isn't a more scouted coach in the world, it would be Bill Belichick.
Well, yeah, but if he's got a modicum of talent there, I mean, let's face it, it was rats that starting a sinking ship as far as the talent in New England went. He's got nobody there. He had nobody there, but his system is what, if he's got the people.
No. I'll disagree with you there because if it was his system, he would have kept winning. It was the ball players he had. His ball players won.
I agree that he doesn't have this. You need a quality players, but he doesn't have those anymore. But his system is what because he used to be able to just how many receivers?
Well, that's it. He could just plug somebody in but that's because you had Tom Brady throwing the football to him.
Oh, I don't.
As much as I hate Tom Brady, I mean, it was what it was.
I don't disagree. Look, he got lucky. He had Brady first. He had Bledsoe, who was very good, and then he got Brady, and you can't argue that. He had some great receivers over the years. He had some great defenses, and again, but I more than anything else, it's his system. Again, you need a Brady. Thank goodness.
Bledsoe is the Wally Pip of the NFL. And if you get that reference, God bless you.
Who was the Wally Pip?
All right.
Bledsoe.
Oh, no.
All right. It's time to go bye-bye, boys. You thought you'd been happy about that. But, all right, anyways, we'll see you around here about this time next week. Thank you for checking in with us. For Bill, for Ed, I'm John, I think. But I got the money.
Radio TFI.